Welcome back to consecutive day 778 of the Diary of a Runpreneur. Please remember that this vlog is part of the Runpreneur Challenge, which is my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon. Check the link in the comments below to find out more, but do give this a subscribe and a share, as the more people we get in front of, the more money we raise. Thanks for your support, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 778 of a Diary of a Runpreneur. Yeah, different challenges today. It's I'm out early, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. As those of you who are regulars will know, I often run later in the day. Have to run early today because it's due to clock, I think, 39 degrees as a high today, which would be unbearable to run in. So I'm out early. It's about 22 degrees at the moment, which isn't too bad, but you can just feel, you can feel the cooker. It's just heating up at the moment. And tomorrow is supposed to clock 40 degrees. So again, I'll have to be out early tomorrow to try and obviously beat the temperature. Although I think tomorrow morning will be hotter because the heat of today probably won't have dropped that much overnight. So yeah, so running in the heat. I'm not an expert at this. Generally speaking, I prefer to run in the heat than the freezing cold, but it's dangerous and you have to be very aware of that. And I think as a runner, one of the most important things is hydration. So if you are looking to run in extreme temperatures, just make sure you're hydrated, and have electrolytes if possible. Electrolytes are like a salty taste to an electrolyte tablet, but what the salt does, it just means your muscles can retain water for longer, which means that you're less likely to run out of fluids and less likely to dehydrate. So if you are running in the heat, just make sure that you are hydrated. That would be first point of call. I don't carry any type of fluid with me, but my runs are relatively short, so most of the time I'm doing between 7 and 8 kilometers a day. So yeah, so I'll always make sure I'm hydrated, but I don't have the need to take anything longer. I'd certainly recommend taking a water bottle or so with you, just so you can do, or plan your route around newsagents, etc., where you can pick up a drink and a break. The next thing to do is depending on the ultraviolet rays level, I think it's 0 to 10. Sunscreen might be useful, and I think when it gets above 5, my philosophy is when it gets above 5, I generally think about putting suntan cream on my arms, in particular my chest. Face I'm not too fussed about at 5, but I'm half Chinese, so my skin is, I suppose, a little bit more tolerable to tropical climates. But if it gets to kind of 6 or 7, I'll be putting suntan cream on my face. It sounds crazy. The reason I'm a little bit resistant to put it on my face is I sweat a huge amount when I run, and I haven't yet found a suntan cream which doesn't get in your eyes and cause quite a lot of discomfort when running. So, but again, there's no substitute. If it's dangerous, you need to be putting it on. So 6 or 7 on the rating, I would put suntan cream on my face. 5 or more, I'll be putting it on certainly my shoulders, my neck, chest, arms, and legs as well. Legs are pretty resilient to the sun now, but still, it's certainly the higher part of your thighs wouldn't get as much sun as the lower part. So that's really, really important. Energy is important, so make sure you've been fueled before you go. Your body will work harder on hot runs, so you might notice your heart rate being higher, you might notice your energy levels, or you feel sluggish when running in the heat. So make sure you have sufficient energy, so fueled correctly before you run, because you'll burn through those carbohydrate supplies a lot quicker. Your heart rate will be higher, trying to keep your body cooler, and if you're doing anything long, you're more likely to hit the wall on a long distance run than you would in cooler temperatures. So that's super important as well. So they're the kind of 3 main things I'd be concerned about. The next thing is, dress appropriately. I still see people running in too much clothing in hot. The less you wear, the better in hot temperature. You need your body to to be able to breathe and to be able to, you know, get rid of the heat, to allow your sweat to cool yourself down. If you've got too much clothing on, you'll find that, you know, the clothing, well, I suppose I'm contradictory advice here. If you've got really good clothing that specialises in keeping you cool in hotter conditions, then that's different. But I'm talking about, you know, the Joe Blogg's average runner. He just doesn't know what to wear at whatever time. My general advice is whatever temperature the weather is in real life, add 10 degrees centigrade, and that's, you're not far off what it's going to feel like when running. So that should determine what you wear when running. So it's 22 degrees this morning, so in running it feels like 32 degrees. So I'm running as little as possible. So I mean, you probably could run without anything on your top, but again, I just think a vest is cool enough to run in. But yeah, you get people that run topless, and as long as you're not going to be getting sunburnt, and I don't think there's too much of a problem with doing that. So that's my advice for you if you are running in extreme weather conditions, certainly extreme heat weather conditions. But nextly, on to work. Work might have taken a bit of a curveball this week. I have some really big meetings lined up. I'm supposed to go into London today and tomorrow, but there's been a lot of news coming out about trains not operating because the weather gets too extreme. It's crazy, I know. In the UK, it can get too hot for a train to operate. Apparently, with the heat on the tracks, it increases the likelihood of a train derailing. So they're stopping loads and loads of services and stuff. So getting into London is going to be a pain. Even if you drive, traffic's going to be horrendous. So we're potentially looking at doing the meetings today and tomorrow via Zoom, and then rescheduling an in-meet person further down the line. But yeah, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, obviously there's countries around the world that live in this condition, but certainly their infrastructure of that country is more well versed at dealing with it. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. We've got some really big meetings, and I would much prefer to do them in person, but due to the conditions we might have to do them in Zoom. But I'll update you more tomorrow on how everything's gone. That's pretty much it for me today. It's the start of my oldest son's, you know, he's come back from long COVID. This is his last week at primary school now, so he has 5 days left. And we're also on a week tomorrow. We go on holiday for 2 weeks to the Gran Canaria. So I'm looking forward to a nice, well-earned couple of week holiday. So lots of things to do this week. It's going to be manic. That's it for me today. Any questions, drop me a line. I'll respond to everyone. Please do subscribe and give this a share. The more people we get in front of, the more money we raise. And remember that this vlog is part of the Runpreneur Challenge, which is my fundraising mission to save the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultra marathon. All the information's in the links in the comments below. Thank you for your support as always. Stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you again tomorrow.